Hello my mini mystics, I come to you with another unboxing video. So excited for this one. It's the Tao Oracle by Ma Deva Padma. I think I said that right. I have been wanting this oracle deck for quite a while. It's based on the Chinese I Ching. That's the correct pronunciation in Mandarin, by the way, or as people normally say in English, the I Ching, because that's the way it's spelt. That is a system of divination which is kind of used with either yarrow stalks, which I never learned to use, or coins. And you throw the coins and you kind of get these hexagram shapes, which if you look closely, you can kind of see on the background of the box there. And each hexagram, there are 64, and each hexagram kind of corresponds with an image, a kind of piece of almost poetry, I would say, in this ancient text, this ancient Chinese text called the Book of Changes. Anyway, long story short, this oracle deck is based on those 64 hexagrams in the I Ching, but kind of simplified, I guess, because you can just draw a card rather than doing the complicated thing with the yarrow stalks, which I don't even know how to do, or the coin tossing, which I do know how to do, which is just a bit quicker, I guess, with cards. And I'm just really excited to see like the illustrations on the cards and the guidebook. So let's get this thing open. Oh, the old plastic. All right, okay. So let's just read the back here. The Tao Oracle, created by critically acclaimed artist Ma Deva Padma, is a brilliantly illuminated and illuminating tool for transformation and personal growth. It is a simple, prophetic, and profound source of guidance for the new millennium. The Tao Oracle is a new expression of the timeless wisdom of the I Ching. It reminds us that the laws that govern the natural world apply to us as well. This approach encourages awareness of change, the very heartbeat of life itself, which enables us to make intelligent choices in tune with life's changes. The Tao Oracle works in support of meditation and self-awareness. We love that. It puts us in touch with Tao, that silent guiding force that is far greater than ourselves in its wisdom, support, and sustaining capacity. I do realize that I'm using the Chinese pronunciation of I Ching, I Ching, but I'm saying Tao like in a totally English accent. I never said I'd be fully making sense in this. Anyhow, let's get started. Okay, it's the guidebook, quite hefty, I must say. This oracle deck is a very thick book. Look at that. And an interesting kind of orientation as well. Kind of landscape, shall we say. So we have the dedication for my daughter Tika, and for all your daughters and sons, and for Osho, in deepest gratitude. Okay, so we have like introductory content, like information about the cards, some contextual information, and then I'm guessing these are the kind of descriptions of each card. Right, plenty of reading material here. And then, yeah, then the card definitions, which seem to cover... Yeah, so you've got the definition of the kind of card or hexagram, which consists of 6 lines, which make a kind of square. And the lines can either be continuous or broken, which you can kind of see here. And all the different combinations make up 64 hexagrams. So that's the book. Now let's get to the cards. Ooh. Okay, so they come in kind of a plastic holder, nice for protection. These are also plastic wrapped, extra security. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so these are matte cards. I do love a matte finish, I must say. I like glossy too, but matte is good. Let's see, they're a little bit bent. They're a good size, quite, you know, quite large as oracle cards tend to be, but not the biggest I've ever seen. So, you know, okay. And in terms of thickness, oops. Again, not the thickest, as you can probably tell from the fact that they come a little bit slightly bent already. Not the thickest I've ever encountered, because really thick cards just lie flat, you know. If they start to curl a bit, that means that they're on the thin side. Yeah, so it feels, it's not very, very flimsy, but it's not very sturdy either, I wouldn't say. So on the back, you've got the yin and yang symbol and some other symbols. I think those are elements, but I'm not entirely sure. And the different types of kind of parts of the hexagrams. And on this side, you've got, I'm going to have to look in the book to see what these symbols mean, because it seems to be different for each card. On the top there, you have an illustration, and then the name, number 1, the creative. And this is what's good about these cards, that they give you kind of key words, because the Book of Changes can be quite cryptic. I mean, first of all, it's, you know, unless you can understand the original Chinese, it's in translation, which is already one layer of ambiguity, if you ask me. And then it's kind of like poetry, like I said. They read like short poems. It's very descriptive. It's not straightforward like this card or this hexagram means this. It's quite, yeah, it's just not obvious. So, but these cards give you some key words that kind of just sum up, I guess, the essence of the hexagram. So we've got number 1, the creative, the active young principle. Oh my god, there I go again, speaking in Chinese when I'm speaking in English. I don't know if I should use the Chinese pronunciation. I'm just going to stick with English. Let's just call this the I Ching and Tao and Yang principle. Let's just stick to one language for now. So the active yang principle, strength, tenacity, dynamism, inspiration, heaven, masculinity, authority, father. So yes, it's all about the divine masculine, essentially, no? And the next card, number 2, as predicted, the receptive, the feminine. Look, you can see it's like a pair of boobs and a belly. The Yuling Yin principle, devoted, patient, supportive, obedient, responsive, intuitive, earthy, mother. Okay. I'm not going to read all the words on all the cards. I'll just flick through them so that you can see them. Waiting. Conflict. Oh. These are just gorgeous. I love the illustrations. They just bring to life the key meanings of the cards. Gorgeous. Oh wow, that's cool. The turning point. It's like an Ouroboros. Am I saying that right? Ouroboros? Ouroboros, the snake that eats its own tail, and this kind of never-ending cycle of giving birth to itself and eating itself, except it's normally in a circle. This is kind of in all sorts of tangles. Wow. Now this card, I'll never forget this one in particular, number 27, the corners of the mouth. A personal story here. The first time I ever consulted the I Ching, well, it technically wasn't me, well, I consulted it with my therapist at the time. I was 20, I don't know, 21, 22, and I was actually suffering from an eating disorder at the time, and I just felt really stuck in my, in my therapy session, or just in general, like not knowing how to overcome this issue. And my therapist, he's passed away now, rest in peace, Ian. He said to me, why don't we consult the I Ching about this? And it was the first time for me, so we threw the coins, we got the hexagram number 27, and he was like, hold the question in your mind, just an open question, about what is it about, the eating. And this card came up of all 64, the card about nourishment, health, well-being came up, the four corners of the mouth, and it was just, to use his words, numinous. It was one of those instances, where it was like, wow. I mean, that was spirit just shining through, spirit talking directly to me, And I'd had moments like this before, previous to that, usually when consulting the tarot, and when I was sort of relatively inexperienced in it before. When I was younger, I started tarot at sort of around 17 years old, and the first time again was like, what? It was just like, what? I was just blown away. So just those moments, So anyway, this card, or this hexagram number 27, the corners of the mouth, I always remember it for that. It was kind of the first hexagram I was ever exposed to. I'd never done anything with the I Ching before. I didn't really know what it was. I think I'd read about it in his Dark Materials, which is a book series by Philip Pullman, but I'd never, come into contact with it directly until that moment. And it was amazing. It touched me. Oh. Nice. Wow. Wow. I love how these illustrations are kind of a mix of, you get some really kind of typical, like, I guess, Eastern mythological kind of imagery, and some very kind of modern Western looking images too. And again, what's really valuable about these cards is the guidebook as well, no doubt, but the key words just on the cards really help to just sort of demystify the I Ching. Yes, the I Ching. Because I found when consulting the Book of Changes myself, it's not always straightforward. It uses kind of obscure Chinese poetry and very kind of ancient references, which are not they don't necessarily all translate easily to kind of modern day life, modern day Western life, or any day, I guess, anywhere. So this is good. This is great. I can't wait to start working with this Oracle deck. Yeah, I will continue to consult the I Ching the traditional way with the coins as well. And I'll probably make some future videos on that. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. but really glad to have this Oracle deck as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.